Okay, folks, here are a couple minutes, just isotopes in a nutshell. I want you to know that isotopes are different versions of an atom. They have different weights, and the different weights are because they have different numbers of neutrons. All of the isotopes of an atom are going to have the same number of protons because the number of protons is what tells an atom what it is. You can't change the number of protons. I mean, we can't do that anyway. But if it were possible, it would turn it into something else. So the number of protons is the same for all of the atoms of a particular element, but the number of neutrons could be different. Now, again, I'm not saying we're changing the number of neutrons, but I'm saying there are atoms that have, let's use carbon as an example, okay? Carbon has a whole bunch of different isotopes. But the most common three would be carbon 12, carbon 13, carbon 14. All of those, all all forms of carbon, even ones that are like carbon 8 or carbon 22, all that whole mess, they have 6 protons. That's what makes them carbon. What differs is how many electrons they have. So carbon 12 has 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. Carbon 13, it's still got the 6 protons, 6 electrons, but it's heavier because it has 7 neutrons. In carbon 14, it would have 8 neutrons. Now, when you have different isotopes with their different weights, they have the same valence layer that they had. You can see in this drawing I pulled up over here on the side, every one of these three, carbon 12, carbon 13, carbon 14, they got the same valence layer of 4 electrons. That means that they're going to have the same chemical properties. However, their physical properties are going to be different. Carbon 12, carbon 13, those are stable. Carbon 14, that's radioactive. So some properties do vary with the neutrons, but not the chemical properties, how many bonds they want to make, stuff like that. Anyway, that's an isotope. Isotopes are different weights. The different weights are caused by, I should have said, isotopes are different weights of the same atom. The different weights are caused by the differing number of neutrons. It doesn't change, but just like there's bread that says in the recipe use 2 eggs, and there's bread that in the recipe says use 3 eggs, there are different recipes to make an atom, different isotopes, and they will have different ratios because the number of neutrons will be different, even though the number of protons will stay the same. I hope that is useful to y'all.